Hey Matt, did you watch that Apple press conference, the keynote thing?
Oh, I didn't actually watch it because I was there live. I actually went as part of the TFC team that went down there. Me and Zabs went down.
Where was it?
America. It was in America. So...
What a state.
What state?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you it was on the continent of North America. And
the contiguous United States.
Yeah.
Right.
It
not
was...
Alaska and not Hawaii.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
Are you sure?
It wasn't...
How sure are you?
It wasn't on the East Coast, I can tell you that. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't
sure?
on the East Coast.
How do you know?
Oh, I just know.
Because I was
there, obviously. So somebody said, "This isn't the East Coast, is it?" I said, "No, it's not, my friend. This isn't the East Coast." Do you know
what? I think you're lying. I don't think you were there.
Okay, you've called my bluff.
Yeah.
I wasn't entirely there, but I did watch it.
Yeah, with me a minute ago.
Yeah. No, live.
Oh, right.
A couple of days ago when it was on.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
That streaming was bad.
Was it?
Apparently so, yeah.
I thought you were watching it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was terrible. It was dreadful.
There were streaming issues then? What
there were huge streaming issues. Basically, everybody logged in to watch it because this is a big, huge thing.
Yeah, thank you. It's average my height and weight, actually.
It sort of washed over me and I sort of paid a little bit of attention to it.
Right.
And then it was all over everything, so I was like, I best sort of read up on this.
Yeah.
But everyone wanted to watch it, and they all logged in, and Apple only allowed you to watch it via Safari, their internet browser, so you had to be on like an iPad, an Apple TV,
or a Mac or something.
Or, yeah, like a Mac. So a lot of people didn't get to see it.
Do you know what that is? Fucking stupid.
It's stupid because this is the unveiling of a new product. There's several new products, and you want people who aren't currently in your market.
Yes.
You want eyes on the product from people who are buying your HTC phones, your Samsung Galaxies and all this. And they can't see the product.
Yeah.
So
they're literally preaching to the choir.
Yeah, so everyone goes, yeah, woo! But they've already got the iPhone 5s. And
I would theorise... Hang on, before we go on, I want to just say... Not that. I just want to say neither of us are like fanboys or anything like that. We don't have a vested interest either way. We both own iPhones.
I own iPhone because it was given to me for free.
Same. Me too, yeah, it was given to me.
And what I could do is I could put my SIM in and it meant I'm only paying £8 a month for it.
Exactly. So. Well, neither of us have enough money to have a vested interest either way. We don't care. But anyway, my theory there is that they did the keynote. They targeted the keynote at Apple users in order to generate word of mouth.
Publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be true. But
thank you.
You know, it is what it is. We're still talking about it right now, and if TLDR are talking about it,
then
they've
made it.
Succeeded, haven't they?
Yeah, well done, Apple. Round of applause for Apple.
I think they'll really take off in the near future.
It's funny because they're already quite large.
Quite big.
Yeah.
But I made a few notes.
Okay.
Made a few bullet points.
I'm deferring completely to you here.
On all the different things. They spoke first about the new iPhone.
Yes. iPhone 6.
We're both on 4s. No, I'm on 3. You're on a 3.
Yeah, I'm on a
4.
very old one. I'm on someone's old one. Like, it wasn't like, I've just upgraded to 4, so here's my 3. It was, I've just upgraded to 5, but you can't have my 4, here's my 3.
Here's my 3. I beat up an old woman and took it from her. Yeah. And told her you'll be getting a 5. Apple actually pay me to mug people in the street, so they get upgrades on phones. But they have announced the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. And the iPhone 6 is going to be 4.7 inches, which is a bit small.
Yeah.
And iPhone 6 Plus is 5.5 inches. But also they've announced that the power button is on the right side this time, which for me means absolutely nothing at all. Why would you change it? Why would you bother moving it at all? It doesn't. That's literally not a point. I don't even know why I noted that down.
I would skip over things like that in the future.
The chips.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to talk microchips with you.
Okay, microchips. As in those little boxes of potato chips that you put in the microwave. Microchips.
And
McCain's.
Nice.
They taste like cardboard, but they fill you up.
No, I'm talking about microchips, what you have in electronic things.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Currently, as you know, the iPhone 5 is using the A7 chip.
Mm.
Well, guess what? Guess what's coming after the A7? A8 chip is in these new ones. It's actually a 13% smaller chip.
Listen, just skip over all this minutiae. I don't care.
This is good. This is good because it's going to get to an important bit.
Okay, go on.
It's going to make the CPU 25% faster, the GPU 50% faster, and it's 50% more energy efficient.
Right.
That's the most important bit. Because how shit are iPhone batteries?
Yeah, my
Terrible.
iPhone battery's balls. But my iPhone is also literally years and years old.
But even the 5s are shit. It's sort of a known thing that they're all shit.
Yeah. And you can't take them out either.
No,
You can't replace them.
When I first had a phone, I didn't have to take my charger with me literally everywhere I went.
No, yeah, that's
now
true.
I do.
Yeah.
It's almost the first thing I pack.
But then you probably use your phone more now and for more power-intensive things. Like playing the Kim
I used to
Kardashian
sex a lot more when I was about 15.
Did you?
Than I do now, yeah.
Oh, right. That's weird, because we sex almost every night, so you must have been doing it quite a lot.
I was doing it every day and night.
Yeah, right, yeah. Makes sense. They've also talked about, like, battery life, all of this shit.
The battery life will apparently be a little better on the iPhone 6.
Right.
But the iPhone 6 Plus, which is more expensive...
And slightly larger.
...has apparently amazing battery life. However, there's a lot of this up to... Or with this chip, it was up to 25% faster.
Well, they always say that, don't they?
But I never trust anything that says up to. In my mind, I immediately go, that's 0%. That is 1% better. It might go up to 50, but it definitely won't ever.
If I was selling a phone, I'd say... This battery might last for years without having to charge it.
It is the might of the
we have no
technology world.
We're not a technology podcast. We don't know anything about this whatsoever.
No,
so just take all this with a pinch of salt. But
no, but this is just my opinion on anything that's said up to this, up to 10 times better, up to 50% better battery.
Because I think that part of that is that it depends on your usage and what you use it for specifically.
Camera, you'll be pleased to know, still 8 megapixels.
8 what, sorry?
Megapixels.
I remember Tim Cook, the guy who gave this thing, I remember he used the phrase packed with pixels.
Packed with pixels.
Which I thought was lame and dumb. But, that's just me.
I feel like the improvement of phone cameras up to this point, where like my iPhone 4, the camera is good.
Yeah.
It's decent enough.
Yeah.
Digital camera market must be really being hit in the pocket. Yeah. And the only people that buy or really even use digital cameras are pros or people who claim to love photography. Oh, I'm actually really into photography.
90% of those people
I've actually bought a new lens. Is it fisheye? Go fuck yourself.
This picture of a Coke can is in black and white, so thanks a lot. I think the problem with any phone marketing itself is like, oh, it's great for photography, is that they always use the metric of the megapixel, and above a certain point, that literally only makes a difference if you're blowing it up to like a mile by a mile. It's not you literally can't see a difference when you're viewing it on a screen or on like an A4 piece of paper or whatever. So if they're actually amazing phones, they'd use some other metric.
The new iPhones are looking at improvements to the stabilisation of their camera as well. So.
Is that thing where you film someone and you're all shaking around, but then you click the thing afterwards
and it goes like,
and it's not shaking anymore.
Yeah.
But it is a bit wobbly and strange.
You see a lot of it on Whoa Dude.
Yeah.
People like doing ski jumps and shit.
Yeah. And
you're like, I'm not impressed at all. Downvote. 4,000
upvotes,
1 downvote.
It says, please only downvote if you're high. So you go, oh, sorry, take it back.
Put it right back up.
Yeah. Right, what's next?
Oh, the NFC build.
What's NFC?
Is the near something payment.
Yeah. Apple Pay.
The beam is built into both the iPhone 6 and the iPhone Plus.
And this is where you pay for things. It's like a contactless...
It's like that advert. Have you seen the advert for... Is it Barclaycard and Usain Bolt's like running and he just pays for like things on the way?
That's Usain though, isn't it?
And that's it.
Flashing cash.
And they seem to try to pretend they've created this. Like this is a...
Oh, they've done that a lot here. Yeah.
They've got, well, we've come out with this. But, like, there's a Google Wallet, that's a thing already.
Yeah.
Like, actual credit card bank companies have been doing it for a while. It's just not very big.
It also looks like...
I have the technology on my credit card, but I never ever use it because most places don't have that technology.
Yeah. And also, I don't want to go up to, like, a store clerk, to use the American nomenclature, and get out my debit card and be like, oh, do you have the contactless thing? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, let me just key it in. And then you sort of wave it awkwardly over, and they go, oh, that didn't read, can you do that again? That's all the thing, I don't need to say more than 3 words to the person selling me a samosa at 9 p.m.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's one of those things, I think you take a picture of your card, and then you import it into this thing called a passbook, which is basically the Google Wallet.
Right.
And then you can just use it, and they say that cashiers won't see any of your info. Your credit card's not really saved on there, but you've taken a picture of it, so it is.
Yeah.
Your name's on it. And then if you lose your phone, if you use Find My iPhone, which is also an app, you have to have on something else.
Right.
It's not just a thing
like
that...
on a Mac or something.
Yeah. You can use that and you can suspend payments and cancel your card. But I lose my phone probably about once a week. Usually it's just down the sofa.
Yeah.
While I've left it in another pair of trousers.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, oh, that's on my bank card, that's all the information I have in the world. How many times am I going to be suspending payments and cancelling cards and then going, oh, here it is?
Also, you can only suspend payments and cancel cards. You can only do that with another app.
Yeah.
And that
Find
app is
My
like
iPhone.
an Apple proprietary. So I can't do that with like an old Android phone or something. Because the implication there is that unless you buy 2 Apple products, you're susceptible to credit card fraud and theft.
You might be able to get it.
Find My iPhone via iCloud
Find
on
My
the
phone.
Google.
It's iCloud, isn't it? Isn't that still a...
Well, yeah, but if you can do it with some other piece of hardware, that's not quite as bad. But I would prefer to call the police and say my credit card information is out there. It's a bit weird that you have to do that with an app.
But it's one of those things that surely isn't that secure. We've had a whole... In the past week, on a couple of TLDRs ago, we were talking about the nude leak and all the information that was on the iCloud there. And
iCloud has taken a blow.
Yeah, it has taken a blow. Like a couple of days before they announced this.
But the blow video, nowhere to be seen. They were promised. Not me, because I think it's immoral. Cough it up.
We'll be able to find it.
Yeah. I'm joking, by the way.
I feel like the internet will only be secure to a certain level. It's never completely secure.
No.
Also, this Apple Pay, it seems like a great idea. You're like, oh, I don't have to carry anything around, I can just scan. But like we were saying, how many places are going to have it? Yeah, I don't know when the iPhone 6 even comes out. What? But then this is, if you want to use it, then you've got to shop at these certain companies. Then you're just having a big monopoly of big business.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got Apple, a huge company, and McDonald's say, oh, we'll work together and we can use your product. Yeah. And then, oh, well, I haven't got any cash on me and I want to go and eat. Well, the only place I can go is McDonald's. Yeah. And so you're forced to buy whatever it is from certain companies, and it is a weird big business monopoly. Yeah, that's terrible. Unless it's everywhere, I would never use it.
The cynical conspiracy theorist in me wants to say that what happens when in 10 years' time Apple buys like McDonald's and JC Penney, whatever, all these big companies. I mean, that probably won't really happen, but I don't see why they can't just say, listen, here's the device that the iPhone needs to interact with in order to complete the Apple payment, and just sell that to business owners.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like a very easy thing to do, and say, look, here you go, connect this to your shit, whatever, we'll sort it out for you.
Yeah.
And then all these small businesses could have it. I don't see what's to stop them from doing that.
Because they don't want to do it.
Oh, right.
Also, I saw a funny little comment on the internet that Apple doesn't own ApplePay.com.
Oh, really?
So I feel like they're going to have to pay somebody a nice amount of money for that. Now, they've already announced it. Whoever owns Apple Pay is going, oh, yes.
Oh, brilliant. Yes. I wish I had ApplePay.com. I would demand $1 billion. Like I literally would.
£1 billion.
I would say $1 billion. I'd send them that video of Dr. Evil. $1 billion.
Have you got any funny little comments, little witty things you want to throw in?
Not really. I mean, I've written down some notes, but we've covered them basically already. So I think let's move on to the watch. Because when old Tim Cook, came out on stage and did his old grandiose thing of like, Steve Jobs came onto this stage X years ago and announced the Mac, and you will agree, which is marketing speak, someone told me to use that exact phrasing, you will agree that today is as important for Apple. We are announcing the watch, whatever the fuck it's called, as if they invented it. I looked it up, I did a bit of research. The first smartwatch was made in 1972. And they're literally only doing this because they have to, because their competitors have been doing it for the past 2 years. Yeah, Samsung have one. Yes, the Galaxy Gear, I think, was their first one. It's one of those things. It's so weird to come out as if they've invented this. It's like clear. Like we said earlier, they're coming out like they're inventing things, talking like this is a huge innovation. Yeah, in the world. I mean, that's always what Apple does, but this just seems had a bit of truth to it.
to me it seems like an accessory rather than a necessity.
Yeah.
I'm not like, well, I need this. I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. Cool. Yeah, it is cool.
If I had the money, I would get the watch and the phone. The idea that they talked about taptic feedback, which is fucking stupid, by the way. That word, taptic feedback. The idea is cool, but the name taptic feedback...
It's just a bit like Bluetooth, though, isn't it?
What, taptic feedback?
Yeah.
No, taptic feedback is the vibration. Because haptic feedback is the actual word for it, which is a vibration feedback when you press something on something. So they've used it wrong, really, but anyway. Taptic feedback is a sort of vibration on the underside of the watch that feels as though someone's tapping you on the wrist.
Why would you do that?
Well, so when you get a text, instead of it going... it just taps you on the wrist.
That would be annoying.
No, it'd be cool. I'd like it. I'd look at my...
My phone goes off about every minute because I have 3 different email accounts linked, and I get about 800 spam emails a day, so it's all the time. Imagine that on your wrist.
I would hope that you can only set certain things to tap you. So I would have it like...
assume you can.
If I'm getting a text, it'll tap me, and then I'd look at my wrist, and it'd be like, you've got a text from so-and-so, and then I'd get my phone out and look at it on there. The main function of it that I would be interested in personally is the idea that it would let you know that something's going on your phone, or like, you know, or you'd use it to change tracks.
But that's what your phone does.
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm saying. You're literally cutting out. You're literally cutting out going into your pocket and taking it out and having a look, which is again superfluous and affluent and whatever. But I don't know. It has other features, but they all look shit.
Also, it's an expensive accessory.
Yeah.
It's compatible with the iPhone 5, 5 Colour 5S, and these 2 new ones.
But you need an iPhone to use it.
But yeah, you need a better iPhone than either of us have.
Yeah.
Like I would need the 1 up, you'll need the 5. And so it's $349 plus a phone. You blow.
Yeah, that's a significant.
And that's just
investment
for the consoles.
Yeah.
The items. Consoles.
Yeah.
Fucking the phone and the watch. That's
Devices.
Not your contract. That's not your.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It just seems completely pointless to me. And there's all this nice, snazzy footage of and it can monitor your heart and you can track your running speed and all these adverts for this shit. And everybody goes, yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love to know my heartbeat. You use it once and go, fuck this noise. I don't use my phone for anything really, other than sort of texting people and going on social media. I know it can do all sorts of shit. I know I could sort of video in slow motion was one of the things. Slow motion. Because it makes it snazzy and it makes it look good, and Cut can stand on stage and he can go, oh, look at this, isn't this brilliant? Look, a person doing a skipping rope, really? Who's going to ever use it, ever? Nobody. Nobody's ever going to use it. They'll use it once when they get it out of the box at Christmas and you'll video Gran going, hello, and she'll be like, I don't understand, why am I in slow mo? I don't understand this modern technology. And then
when I was young,
you'll never use it again because you have to set it up and go, I've got it on that. I've got it on panorama, and you just fuck up all the time, and you'll just stop using it. It's like the stocks. You think, oh, that's good, that's snazzy. I'm glad I can do that on my phone. You never fucking do any of it.
The thing that was telling to me about the watch is that they advertised that one of the usages is that you can use it to set the temperature in your home and to set all the lighting on your home and stuff like that. So basically, they're marketing it to the very, very, very rich.
Very rich.
They showed the thing where they were communicating via tiny little drawings on the wrist.
Oh, that's shit as well.
It looks like you're never, ever going to use that because literally the only usage case that they could come up with, what they want to do on stage when they're doing this keynote is show you the most attractive usage case, like the thing that you think, oh yeah, that is useful. But all they could come up with is, oh look, John's put a question mark. I suppose that might mean what's for lunch, so I'll draw a fish to mean sushi. No, that doesn't mean sushi, that means fish.
It means question mark fish. If someone sent me a question mark, I'll probably send one back. And then if they sent me a fish, I was like, fuck this, I'm not interested. I'll just text him on my actual phone, which is what my phone's for. Do you want to go for lunch, Steve? Yes, alright, what shall we have? Sushi, question mark. Done. 2 seconds, done. Done. I don't need to do a little squiggly drawing and I fucked it up because I'm not good at drawing.
And then you don't know how to undo it, so you just send it anyway. It's embarrassing. I guarantee that all that would happen with that is that the first 3 days that you own it, you'd only have one friend who also has one of these watches, so you'd both send back
and he'd be a prick, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
he would be a prick. You'd have to contact him because you've both got the watch. So you're like, for fuck's sake, who else has got the watch? So
basically,
Paul,
you'd get really, really drunk with a friend you do like, and then say, "Oh, you've got one of those watches, haven't you? Who else has got it?" Paul, send him a dick.
Send him a dick. Send him a big one and then a small one,
and then say me, Arrow, you, Arrow. And then you're not friends with Paul anymore. They also have the thing that they call the crown, which is a fucking dial. Another thing they didn't invent.
Twizzly dial.
Which, to be fair, that is quite a good idea. Because one of the things that puts me off using a little watch is that I wouldn't want to just be tapping my wrist like I'm fucking Leela all day. But using a dial
would be better.
Slightly better, marginally better.
The video ended as well with fucking U2.
Oh, yeah, U2.
Could you pick a more pointless, irrelevant band at this point? I want to do this is a snazzy new product. Which band shall we get? Which hip new band? Oh, we'll get fucking Bono. Bono hasn't been relevant in my entire life.
No, they're literally like...
Name the last good U2 song.
I think they peaked in the public eye about 10 years ago. They peaked in terms of actual quality and success more like 15, 20 years ago.
Everyone knows Bono for like doing his charity work and being...
Yeah, but 10 years ago.
Ages ago.
What has he done?
And now he came out and they sort of... Him and that Tim Cook guy had a weird circle jerk about some album.
Well,
and he said, let's release it. And then they touched fingers. And it was the cringiest, circle jerky, gayest moment I've ever seen.
It was fucking... I just wanted to be like, gay.
And both of them stood there like this was a moment of innovation. In 50 years' time, we'll be looking back and go, this is incredible. Go fuck yourself. It's all dreadful. Absolutely.
They've got too far up their own arse at this point. I think that what happened is that U2's album became not only free for everyone with iTunes, but like it automatically was in your library.
If you have iTunes?
Yeah, I think that's...
So I have it?
Check. Because I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I've heard.
Delete?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it'd download. I think it'd say, you own this, do you want to download it or whatever?
No.
But then they were saying, immediately afterwards, they were saying, this is the biggest album sale in history or download it in history or whatever.
Because
it's not because you forced it on people. It's not, it doesn't fucking count. It's like if I made my own albums and just drove around town throwing them out of windows. I've shifted 100,000 copies. No, you haven't.
We should go and dump them in the river. I've not done it.
Yeah. I'll be buying a watch and a phone.
I won't be buying either unless somebody gives me one of them. Thank you for listening to this TLDR special on the new Apple products and the Apple special event as a whole. Phil, what else is happening on the TLDR scene?
Well, Matt, yesterday we did an episode on the knee defender, which is something to do with reclining seats. You'll have to listen, I suppose. Today we also released an episode on Joan Rivers passing away, which is quite sad. Tomorrow is what the super fans are starting to call Full Epi Saturday. I believe Epi is short for episode, and that is going to be the uncut episode of all of the segments that we recorded this week. Sunday, I think there's going to be a special little interview, Matt. What's that all about?
Well, a year ago, almost to the day, an old podcast that used to be on the network, the Pitchside Chronicles, we took a little trip to Norway. Saw a friend of ours, a chairman of a football team. He's going to be on again a year down the line. We're going to have a little catch up, see how he's doing, see how the team's doing, and that'll be released on Sunday, hopefully.
That'll be very nice. So all you football fans and/or soccer heads,
that's what they call us, soccer heads.
Get on that immediately because that sounds great. I know I'll be listening to that in the bath.
Remember, you can find TLDR on iTunes, Stitcher, and all our videos will be uploaded to YouTube. If you want to find us on social media, we're across all platforms. Just search TFC Podcast.
Oh, because you're part of the TFC network, the world famous podcast network.
It's so groovy, it's outside.
Yeah, I'll be following you on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I think. Cool. When I'm at the studio, I'll be right on that. Good to know. Good to know.
We have really tightened up these intro and outro.
Yeah, this has gotten to a point where it's embarrassing for other podcasts now. This is good. Okay, thanks. Yeah. What did you just write then?
I just put cunt, arse, poo.